Well, Paulo had this film Gap, Fezzi. We'd backed him from the beginning with this. He was in New York. He'd come all the way up from Florida to shoot this film. We were excited for him. It sounded like a terrific film where Paulo is going to be playing a serial killer, and we thought it was all going great. Later, we heard some bad things from the set, so we'll check in right now with Paulo and see what happened with that film. Paulo.
Yes, boss.
How are you, my friend?
Things have gotten a little worse from then on. Things were very bad on the drive back, and a few times I did aim the car towards some trees.
What was it? Just you and her and the dogs on the way home?
Right.
That's your fault.
No, it's not my fault.
Jesus, take the wheel.
In any case, yeah, I'm okay, but yeah, we really, this is really going to be the focus, the fulcrum, hopefully, to a turnaround. We're going to turn her around. Are we going to turn you around, Gail, or not? You want to talk to Gail?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, here.
Hello.
Hi, Gail. It was great meeting you the other day.
Yeah, it was great, but I was hurt.
But,
and I said to myself, oh, well, what are you going to do?
Right. Well, you and Paul had some...
We're going to listen. That's fine.
Right.
What were you going to say, Ron?
Paul, and you had a nice trip back to Florida?
Yeah, everybody had a good time.
Good. It was...
Even little, what is it?
Regis?
Regis.
Uh-oh.
What is it? Oh, who cares? Little Richie that was well taken care of.
Oh, that's good.
And that pretty much is it.
Very medicated today.
Let me have the phone back for a second.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
I'm never going to get the other 3 pounds back on me.
Well,
Let me have the phone back for a
that
second.
doesn't make
I'm
sense.
just going to take the phone back, because clearly she's fading out. You know, you can tell she's fading out.
Today is a medicated day.
Right. I told her very specifically, do not take any medication in the morning, because we had to unload the car. She packed 80 outfits for a 5-day trip, so I had to get all of that coordinated. She kept dumping her purse, hiding her purses all over the house, and I am at the end of my rope.
Now, Paul, how much money did you say she spent on clothes in the last several years?
In the last 5 years, I estimate between all of her frivolous expenses, including clothes, jewelry, makeup, on and on and on, that kind of stuff, $400,000.
Now, why would you let her have access to that money?
Well, during the time when the majority of the spending was going on, I still had 2 invalids in the house.
Right, that was her parents and your mom.
Right. My mother, her mother.
Yeah.
And I had her, and I'm working. It would have been much more intelligent, and this is in hindsight. I mean, hindsight is whatever 20/20, as they say. If I had just quit my job and just spent every waking minute watching her.
Right, watching over the money, yeah.
I would have been better off than letting her, I work at night, so I'd take her to the mall, and I'd sleep in the car. And then when she, then half a year's salary would be gone.
Well, here's the other thing. What kind of jewelry guy lets this woman come in and buy diamonds? You know she's whacked out.
Every single salesperson loves her.
Sure.
They treat her as a second family.
They know what's going on.
They know, but then why do they think you are Hulk Hogan? I mean, she would meet Hulk Hogan regularly at Saks.
What?
Right. Just let it be.
It's
a metaphor.
No, literally. Literally, she met him and the wife there frequently.
Oh, you would see Hulk Hogan. You shopped at the same place.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's what he means.
Oh, okay.
And she would spend more money than the Hulkster.
Exactly. It was like, really. And
I wish she had come home with weight belts and bandanas.
So it wasn't a metaphor. It would actually happen.
It was actually happening.
Yeah.
And I said to her, you do not have his money. Do not do this to me.
You have never won a WrestleMania. Stop spending pound for pound with Hulk Hogan. All right,
Very sweet guy, incidentally.
Paulo, we were all excited about the film Gap.
Well, the fact is, the filming was the one thing that went without a hitch. I mean, there was a little bit of controversy with Crotch Critter, but in my opinion, he added a tremendous amount to the production as well. And I think everybody was just so perfect and wonderful. It was like God literally stepped in and took over.
Now, one of the complaints that we heard about you is that when you were acting in this film, you shot the film in a day and a half, right?
Right.
One of the things that they said is while you were acting, shooting the film, you still had the script in your hand.
I didn't have a script. I'm playing a psychotic, delusional man who is with a mission, and those were just scattered, tattered notes that this guy was carrying.
So you, in your opinion, this guy would write out a script for himself, and he would read off of it, so that does make a little more sense.
Okay. I very, very rarely read off of it, but everyone... Oh, wait, now she's on her tear, so let's get her. Now, what are you talking about?
It's just that I've asked you to buy, what do you call those?
I don't know what you call them. Is this what, did you notice I'm having a conversation?
Yes.
Okay, then let me have it. All right. So, no, he would definitely be running around like a lunatic with these tattered pieces of paper in his hand as part of his diatribes and rants. Yeah, so that's completely justified.
Okay, so you have no problem with that. Then the other thing we heard is that you were going to put Eastside Dave in the film, and it was going to be you killing Eastside Dave. What happened in the scene? What did you guys do?
Okay, now this was a little odd, and I understand how Dave might feel about this, but I knew what we had already for the film, and we had a completed film already, right?
Without him.
Without him, and I knew Dave wanted to be in the film, and I knew I had a problem with Gail. We had just completed the interview, and he wanted, and she had already known we were going to go to the fancy steak place, so we actually had to take a rickshaw because her feet were bad. We had to take the rickshaw over to the restaurant. And I couldn't get back in time and I knew Anthony, who was the camera guy, one of the two camera guys, was going to be great. He would film ultra close-ups, which is obviously Dave's best feature. Very scary face. No, I mean in a good way.
Right.
And I knew we'd get great stuff, and I directed from the restaurant.
So as you sat in the restaurant, there is a scene where you're being murdered, Dave, and yet nobody's with you.
Would De Niro have to call up Scorsese at a restaurant and ask Scorsese to give him some motivation? Paul, why did you have me scheduled for August 8th if the film wrapped on August 6th?
But that's because at the time, I knew that you were a very important person, Dave.
Thank you.
You're very important, and you have to be given special consideration. Gail, I'm having a conversation.
Well, see what she's doing. See if she's okay.
She's just following me around, and she... Well, then spend time with the dog. Dave, you're a very important person. I wasn't going to force you to come up to the cabin on the weekend and all of that. And I knew, very frankly, once we had the completed film, that I could insert point-of-view shots of you being, abused and tortured. And
here's the thing, Dave, you're going to have to wait and see how it looks on film. Now, Paulo, promise me that this is not going to go straight to DVD, that you attempt to get this released in the theaters.
I promise you, I've already had a discussion with Tom about that, because Tom, kind of thinks, that we were making a cheapy kind of horror, just a cheap B film. Okay? And it is.
Well, we'll give him that idea.
It's both a cheapy B film, horror film, but it's also an art house film as well.
Right.
So my every hope is that to release it in New York and L.A., once it's ready, maybe midnight screenings or maybe regular screenings for at least a week, and
then we roll it out.
That's what I'm thinking.
And then it rolls out into the heartland.
That's what I'm thinking. But the thing is that I do have high hopes for the film, that I really was prepared. Everything went perfectly.
Now, Paul...
I will tell you one thing, though.
Yeah.
There is a blackout on the legitimate press.
I agree. I would do the same thing. And that's what I worry about Crotch Critters getting, suddenly now we're hearing bad things from the set.
Well, no, we've always had a little, he's a very, driven person, and he has his own ideas, so you have to get on top of him a little bit. I mean, but other than that, I think he did a lot of great things for the production, and I'm very happy with him, and I don't want to stir the controversy.
It's still a team. All right. Now, Paul, you said you had high hopes, right?
Yeah.
Would you say that they're high apple pie in the sky hopes?
Yes, I'm well aware of the Frank Capra film with the Frank Sinatra.
Bring that up if you can. Maybe try to get that music.
We have a bunch of music. I actually gave Earl some of the music, one of the bands that we've got, The Chokes, and it's filthy, though. It's filthy music.
Can we hear a little bit of it, Earl?
It's up to him. There's one Sexy Beast, and there's some others that I know we're definitely going to use. But we're going to have about 5 bands, and we're going to play music that this character that I play would despise and hate.
Well, what's his name?
Well, we didn't necessarily give him a name. I kind of was going to call him Boomer for a while.
Yeah.
But
nice.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or is it more of an ESPN thing?
What? His name?
Chris Berman.
I don't know. And Gail, of course, no matter, guys, now that all of this has really come out of the wash and that we really see the real Gail, this is what I deal with. I mean, literally,
I know you
every
do,
single
bro.
conversation that I have, she's either screaming or babbling or mumbling or yelling or something in the background. So how do I concentrate and have a normal conversation?
I can only see this thing ending in a murder-suicide. And I don't know what...
Serious about it.
I don't know what end you're going to be on and what end she's going to be on.
Okay, we're
parts.
going to make every effort to turn things around in the next month. If it does not turn around in the next month, I absolutely agree that I, at the very least, will kill myself. So, I mean, if you want to put out a poll or something on whether people think I should kill myself, I will try and abide by it.
If you do this, if you kill yourself, you know how much press I'm going to get for Gap if that happens? Let me start working the phones. Let me do my job.
I understand, and I'll try and abide by it. But there is the potential. I mean, this is my legacy, but there is the potential that I could get rich, and then, of course, money. You could take care of any problem.
Well, sure. Then you and the Hulkster are back buying brooches like the old days.
No more brooches. We just buy more drugs. That's it.
All right, now let's play one of these songs, Fez. You got one?
Yeah, I got one here. This is The Chokes, Poop City Gorillas.
All right, let's just take a little listen to Poop City Gorillas.
Sexy Beast, whatever. Yeah.
Sexy Beast is what he wants to rock. That's the one that you like a lot, huh?
Well, so far, yeah. But I mean, I've got a few other bands. I want to put some rap and some, 80s metal, whatever.
I love the way you're thinking, Paulo. I can see the soundtrack doing well too.
Okay.
All right, let's just take a little listen to. I guess this is going to be the love theme from Gap.
Right.
All right, sounds like we got a single. This is perfect, Paul.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like the way this thing is coming together. I'm glad I talked to you. I'm glad I talked to you after Crotch Critter. I think he's got some complaints, but then after talking with Paul, I see he's answering on this.
He's an old-style mogul, is
right.
what it is. He walks in with the cigar, and he wants everything to go a certain way. So, and we want to bring that back.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I want him to represent the film around the country.
I like the idea. Hold on, here's Peter. Peter, you're on a Fez.
Oh, hey, guys, what's up?
Hey.
Hey, Paulo, you're a fucking cocksucker, you know that? Why don't you fucking give up life, kill yourself, and leave us alone?
Peter, where's that come from?
Right, so that's one vote for killing myself, as I see it right now.
All right, Paul, I don't want you to feel like that has to happen. Here's Russ. Russ, you're on my Fez.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you for putting that interview on. I found it very interesting. Gail O is a little crazy. I'll take that. I'll give Paulo praise for taking care of her, but I think she is getting abused, and he never left her because she's got some money she inherited. That being said,
well, that's all spent now, sir.
Everything
somebody
is spent.
needs to keep an eye on Paulo the situation. You know,
but here's the thing: it's not like he's hiding.
Right.
It's not like he's hiding. I mean, all this stuff is out front.
Was that a vote for me to live? Or
I believe that was a vote to live.
okay.
Yeah, you're not Lieberman in this.
Yeah.
All right. That's 1-1. That's pretty good, though.
All right, Paul. We'll talk to you later, man.
All right. Bye-bye.